Well, I am at Bush's Pasture Park in Salem, Oregon, and Salem is actually where I grew up. And I don't come here that much these days, so it's been decades since I've been to this park. But growing up, I did a lot of running here, so we're going to take a tour of it. I'm starting out the tour here at Winter and Mission Street, and there's several loops that go all the way around the park, and I'm going to start out at the outermost loop, and then I'll do on the inner loop. So this first loop that we're doing, I'm going in a clockwise direction. So the trails vary from full paved to gravel to like this one right here, which is more of a traditional hiking trail. Off to the left is Pringle Creek, and further off to the left is the Deepwood Estate. I was hoping to cross over and check that out real quick, but to get to that, you actually have to leave the park and go on city streets. So we'll just continue on. Bush's Pasture Park is a fairly urban park, and it's surrounded by neighborhoods, and it's fairly easy to access the park from any of the neighborhoods. Right here where there's this Pringle Creek, there's actually a bridge to cross there, but in most places, like with these houses you can see way off in the distance, it's just a matter of crossing the street to get to the park. So the park has wilderness areas, and then it also has pastures, and then like right here you can see there's a baseball field. Alright, so I'm paralleling, I think it's LaFella Street. I'm probably going to get grilled for saying that wrong, but like I said, it's been so long since I've been here, I don't remember how to say it correctly, but off to the right is the lower pasture. Alright, I'm walking up what's known as Rhododendron Hill on the outermost loop, and here in just a second I'm about to take a detour to explore this area a little bit more. This is an overlook from the Rhododendron Hill back down to the lower pasture. I'm back near the perimeter, and this is by Cottage Street. We're looking at one of the more forested areas of the park. I'm back on the outermost loop, and now we're paralleling High Street. This is the upper pasture, which is along High Street. I'm over by the entrance to the museums now, and I'm going to walk through the Rose Garden. I saved the museums for when I did the inside loop. I'm back on the perimeter trail and I'm rounding the corner by the intersection of High Street and Mission Street. Alright, now I'm along Mission Street, and that reddish building off to the left is the Salem Hospital. I'm almost back to where I started out at, right at the sign directly ahead. I'm going to go into one of the inner loops, and this time I'm going to do a counterclockwise walk around the park. Alright, I'm on one of the inner loops, and off to the left is McCollum Stadium. It's the main stadium for Willamette University. Willamette University is the oldest university in Oregon. As we go around the loop, we'll get some better views of the stadium. So the next thing I checked out on this inner loop is the Salem Soapbox Derby. Now, soapbox derbies are extremely rare. This is the only one west of the Mississippi, and so I'm sure a lot of you are not familiar with what a soapbox is. But if you look on the sign, that blue cart is what a soapbox is. It's non-motorized and they race down a hill. So I walked up to the top of the Soapbox Derby, and this checkered area is the finish line, and then off to the left is McCollum Stadium. This is the top of the Soapbox Derby track, and it's probably hard to tell, but the grade on it is probably about 5 to 10%. I remember watching this growing up. I think mostly children race on this course. Alright, I'm back on this inner loop, and we're heading up this little hill towards the Bush house. Right behind the Bush house, there's this little garden that I wandered through first. This is the Bush house. Certain days of the week they do give tours of the house. Alright, I'm continuing on this inner loop trail. Right next to the Bush house is the Salem Art Museum, but there was some kind of kids' art day going on, and so there's people everywhere. So I just continued on this trail. I'm back over by Rhododendron Hill, and this field below again is the lower pasture. Starting to make my way around the lower pasture, and then ahead we have McCollum Stadium, and then we have this wooded area next to it. This is from the far side of the lower pasture. We're looking at Rhododendron Hill. I'm almost back to where I started out. As you can see, there's a lot more trails and other things that you could do in this park, but this is going to wrap it up for Bush's Pasture Park. Thanks for watching.